Yeah, but think if the blade was actually like concealed within the handle, and then also like a teriyaki beef jerky. That'd be pretty sweet. What's up, everybody? Uh, Eric here, Tabletop Haven, coming at you. We're doing something a little different today. I'm trying this. A few things. I have another camera coming. This is the built-in laptop one. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's great. I also have a microphone coming, so, bear with me for another week or so, and hopefully things will go. What are we doing here? We are looking at my January games played. All right. I think I saw something like 50-ish or something like that, but we'll get into the semantics of that in a second. But we will look here and we'll start Cranium Hullabaloo. This is a game I play with my children. It's kind of just a run around, burn some energy game. Played it 7 times. It's very quick. Yeah, it's we don't need to talk too much about it. But if you have children and they need to burn energy, it's not the worst thing in the world. But it's probably like the top 3. Final Girl, we played 5 times. Final Girl is surprisingly great. I was not expecting a lot of this game. I wasn't even planning on getting this game, and then ended up picking it up because I found it a pretty good deal at my local gaming store, and ended up have played it 5 times so far. I really like it. I like the whole system. It's got a mix and match, plug and play, call it what you will system, where you can pick essentially the game, it's a solo only game, and you are trying to survive as the final girl in a horror movie. And so you have the big bad murder, and then you have different places. You have a haunted house, a haunted carnival, the camp and things like that. But you can mix and match the killers with the locations, and yeah, so Final Girl is very good, surprisingly good for me. I was not expecting a lot out of it, but then here it is, Final Girl. I should have clicked on it. Oh well, sorry. Assassin's Creed, Brotherhood of Venice. So this is one that... This has taken me some time. This has taken me a little bit of time because of the rulebook. I've been on Board Game Geek forums, kind of chatting, going back and forth with the designer and some other people on the forums, just kind of looking. This is not my version. Essentially, if you played Assassin's Creed, it's that ish. You're trying to complete missions. You're going around trying to be stealthy. Eventually, you're gonna get found out, and then you're gonna have to kind of fight your way out of it. But there's different ways. This is the Kickstarter version, or maybe even Kickstarter Plus. I don't know if all of these things, but I just have the regular tiles. These are like elevated boards. Looks like they have trees and stuff on here. This tower, I think, was a Kickstarter tower. I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to it's starting to click. I'm now probably 6 or 7 games in, and it's finally starting to resonate with me. Here's the thing that I like about this game. The thing I like about this game is that it's quick. You can sit down and play a session in easily less than an hour. And it is one of those games that has, you do a mission and then you kind of go back to your headquarters, and the headquarters thing was what was really messing with my brain and taking me a while to figure out, okay, what is going on? Who's this? What's going on here? But I think, like I said, I kind of got it dialed in now. I feel good about it. And I'm going to keep on keeping on because I'm having fun. And it's on the table right now. And, sorry, I can continue clicking through some of these. Yeah, I have started to paint my miniatures. I have the retail version. So this is what mine looks. These are the guards in the retail version. Versus the miniatures, which I think came in the Kickstarter version. I don't know what that is. I think there's expansions to the game that I don't have, so these might be all that stuff that I don't have. But anyway, I have I have this guy and her. So I have some of the heroes, and I'm starting to paint them. But yeah, this is some elite elite stuff going on here with the way that they have these painted and set up. I don't know if these 3D buildings were part of the Kickstarter or if somebody did that, but it's pretty awesome. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice. I'm getting there, and I'm gonna keep cracking at it and see what happens. And it's not surprising, but I'm happy I'm sticking with it, despite the fact that ISS Vanguard is my next big game that's going to sit on the table, and I'm really, 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 really excited for that. So I'm powering through with Brotherhood of Venice because I'm enjoying it, and now that I actually got it figured out, and I said you can pound out a game in less than an hour pretty easily, like I should be able to get a solid chunk of this game done, if not finished, in the next couple weeks. So that is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice. Next up, we have The Crew, Mission Deep Sea. The Crew is fantastic. As you can see, I have it here as a 10. It is a cooperative trick-taking game. I grew up with trick-taking games, Euchre, Sheep's Head, things like that, so I have a trick-taking background, but you wouldn't necessarily need it. It's fairly intuitive, and especially if you're learning it all as a unit. But the cooperative nature of this game, it kind of tilts the trick-taking thing on its head. And the Mission Deep Sea, there is 2 of them. Search for Planet 9 was the original one, which is also good, but Mission Deep Sea is just better. It's more efficient. You can get games going more quick. So yeah, cooperative trick taking, The Crew. I played that 3 times. So that was probably like at the end of one night. Fishing Lessons. Fishing Lessons is a little button shy Kickstarter that I backed. I haven't rated this one yet. I'm not sure on it. It's just a little. It's a very simple kind of little puzzle situation. You got these 7 cards in the middle. This is your water. You have your fishermen up at the top. They have certain fish they want to catch, and then you have different fishing lessons that you can use down here, and they're going to manipulate the flipping of these cards and the boat. So you're trying to move your boat around, flip the cards until you get the proper amount of the right fish that this person wants to catch by the end of the game. If you do that, you win. It's just a very little solo game, very quick little solo game. I got it for my brother, who's a big fisherman. I got it for him as a stocking stuffer situation, and I grabbed an extra copy for myself. So Fishing Lessons, quick little. If fishing is a theme that does it for you, it's good. It's just a simple little fun little puzzle game. It takes 10 minutes to play. It's good stuff. But yeah, got that, tried it out a few times. I like it. Sylveon is another solo game that I recently busted out. This is by Shaddy Torby, who does the whole Onirum Omniverse series. And this is another game in the line where you have a forest you're trying to protect here along the outside. This is the forest you're trying to protect, and then you have this fire coming in, and you can set up your defenses, and you're ultimately trying to protect your forest from the fires whilst getting rid of the fire, or possibly there's cards that you can play that manipulate it. But it's got a very nice system. You can see on the cards this little droplet in the corner. That is how many cards you have to discard in order to play that card. So you kind of have this card economy, which is in quite a few games, where you have to pay cards in order to play cards. And by the end of the game, after you get through all the fire, all these little trees on here are going to flip all these cards. So this is going to flip 3 of these cards. At the end of the game, you need to have all these cards in the green forest, a green, full, healthy forest. If you don't, you lose. So yeah, I'm having fun with this one. It comes with 2 expansions in the box. I haven't busted out yet, but I think I'm gonna. I've just played the base game, and the base game has gotten, I'm not going to say easy, but I found the groove enough where I feel like I can throw in the expansions and add a little bit more chaos to the mix. So that was Sylveon, another good solo game. Cards Against Humanity, I'm not going to click on that but Cards Against Humanity is, it is what it is. If you don't know what it is, it's apples to apples for bad people. And it gets a bad rap, but I always laugh playing this game. I always, it's I don't mind the just insane nature of this game. And we introduced it to some new people, and that's always a trip too, because they're like, what is happening with my life? Exactly. Cards Against Humanity, played that a couple times. Karagari Taj. Karagari Taj is a Kickstarter out of India that I backed kind of on a whim. Just kind of like, this is interesting. It's about building the Taj Mahal. Let's see what we can find here, if anything. And we got... Okay, so here's the board here. This is pretty decently set up. This is... Down here is where it's kind of a worker placement game. Worker movement. This is the bazaar down here. You're going to be moving your workers down the rows and columns and triggering different effects. Gaining resources, trading resources for money, upgrading the resources. Played it solo, and I played it at 3. Unfortunately, I really, really want to like this game. It's got major issues. It's got major pacing issues in that there isn't a ton of incentive to progress in building the Taj Mahal. So you're always going to start with the lowest level and then progress up. Well, the upper tier of the Taj Mahal is going to get you a lot more points, but there's not a ton of incentive to build the lower tiers, so it ultimately comes down to just people running around hoarding resources and then just kind of going and doing their thing. It's not great. It's not terrible. I wish it was better. My father-in-law has a lot of ties to India. His father was, my wife's grandfather was a missionary in India. So, like, the whole theme really appealed to him. So that's another reason I'm like, I can pick this up. It's a worker placement. And so we played it together, and I think he enjoyed kind of the theme, and you can hire elephants and things like that. And so I think he liked the idea behind it just because of India, and it kind of, you got to tell some stories about visiting the Taj Mahal and things like that. But the game itself, unfortunately, is not the best. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Battling Dice game. Holy moly, this game is bad. It's a kid's game. Don't do it. It's terrible. Planet is a game that I play with my kids. It's pretty cool. I play a modified version of it. So everyone has these planets, and they have 12 sides to them. And then you're putting on different terrain tiles. It's magnetic, and so they're going onto your planet. And then the different animals are going to want to live on different parts. So you can kind of see it's blurry. But you can kind of see here, this camel wants to have the biggest desert area. That's what the big one is. And it looks like next to water. So everyone's going to add up. Each tile is separated into 5 parts. So like this would be 1, 2, 3 deserts here next to water. So whoever has the biggest desert that's next to water claims the camel card. Whoever has the most animals living on their planet at the end wins. The kids like to just build their planet, and then we see which animals are living on which planet, and they enjoy it a lot. And it's a lot of fun, and there's more of a game there if you want there to be. But the way I play with my kids is just kind of fun children games. Soulforge Fusion. Soulforge Fusion is... This game grabbed me real hard. It's a collectible card game, similar to Keyforge, but a little more flexibility than Keyforge. Keyforge, you get one deck, that's it, boom. No one else has it, but that's all it is. Soulforge Fusion is the same thing, where your decks, they're all completely unique, but you can mix and match any 2 decks together, and then that becomes your deck. So you can kind of mix and match things, and then the cards will upgrade over time. So you can kind of see here, we have a level 1, level 2, level 3 of the same creature. Every time you play that creature, the next level of it is going to go into your discard pile to get worked back into your deck. So you're going to have to make those decisions of, do I Do I play some more of these some more level 1 cards to get more level 2, or do I keep going with level 2s to upgrade them to level 3s? Then you have the, I think they're called the Forgeborn here, and they all have little abilities, and they're separate. There's like 8 different ones of these. Yeah, I just really, really like it. I think it's super smooth. The components out of the box are trashed here. I got the upgraded playmats. I use dice instead of this terrible counters. It's just a really bad production, unless you kind of put a little bit of extra money and effort into it, which I did because I like the game so much. So that's Soulforge Fusion. It's good. Betrayal at Balder's Gate. If you've played Betrayal at House on the Hill, this is the same thing set in the Balder's Gate D&D world. This game is just a run around, have fun. You start out, you're running around, you're exploring the city, you're opening, there's like shops, and then there's like the sewers or the catacombs below the city, and then eventually a haunt is going to trigger and something bad is going to happen, and you're going to ultimately have to fight some kind of big baddie, and one of the people at the table or multiple people at the table are going to turn into traitors or turn into the bad guy, and then you're going to have to deal with them. The rest of the people are working against them, or sometimes you will be working together as a team against the game. But yeah, we busted it out after a long time, and it was fun. I busted out some of my Death May Die miniatures just to make it more thematic instead of putting a little... let's see if we can find any tokens on here. Yeah, so there's miniatures, pre-painted miniatures for all the heroes, but then like the monsters and things are all these little like tokens. So we ended up busting out some painted Death May Die big monsters to put on the board because it just gives you a better feel. But yeah, Betrayal at Balder's Gate is Betrayal at House on the Hill 2.0, and it's enjoyable. It was fun. It's good. It's a fun time. Call to Adventure Epic Origins. Call to Adventure is a game that one of my game groups plays that is just not my favorite thing in the world. The idea behind it is cool. The game itself frustrates me to no end. So you have your person in the Epic Origins. You can play a cooperative. I think you can play it competitively as well, but regular Call to Adventure is all competitive. Essentially, in Epic Origins, you're going to have a race, you're going to have a kind of starting thing, you're going to have a class. So this is a warlock. It looks like an artist, half-elf artist warlock. And over the course of the game, you're going to either be going on missions or picking up traits that you can then do. The problem is, here is the problem for me with this game, is you have a half-elf artist. And let's say you ultimately you end up having to make decisions based on playing the game and not playing for fun. So if you have a half-elf artist and this half-elf artist is tough, perceptive, and you might go and you're ultimately going to have to make choices because you're trying to get these little symbols that are particular for completing missions and fighting against the bad guy and things like that. Well, the problem is you're just going for these symbols. Nothing else on the card matters. So ultimately, you're essentially just playing the game to get these symbols instead of playing the game to build a character and have a story. And there is flexibility where you can do what you want, but you're not going to do well in the game. So you have to game the game and go for... We were playing the cooperative version, and you know exactly what symbols you need to fight the bad guy at the end. So you're just going for those symbols, regardless if it fits what you want to do with your character or not. So if there was a way that you could flex that a little bit, I think I would enjoy it more. Also, the little rune system is... It's essentially a coin flip, but it's slightly more than a coin flip. It's not the worst, but I don't know. It's not my favorite. Call to Adventure is not my favorite because I'd rather be able to build my character how I wanted rather than against the game. Cartographers is a flip and write game that is phenomenal. You're flipping over little cards like this here. And then everybody has to draw this shape somewhere on their board. And you can choose what it is. And then there's little missions that score you points based on different scoring things. There's all kinds of different scoring cards. There's all kinds of different Tetris type shape pieces, and this person has a lot of time and effort because mine does not look like that. After a game, this person decided to go real big. So some people will get into it and do like the different colors and different things, or you can just draw the little shapes. But Cartographers I love. I think it's fantastic. I got the Heroes expansion for it. I think it's fantastic. It adds some cooler monsters. And this flip and right is probably, actually I don't even think it's probably, it's my favorite by far. So here is the different missions. So this is how you're going to score, and you know how the game is going to score. From the beginning, all these are revealed, and so you know what's going to score when and how much they're going to score for, so you can kind of build your way throughout the game on your board to maximize your points. And everyone is playing the exact same cards, but everyone's board looks different at the end, and it's a wonderful game, Cartographers. Cribbage is cribbage. If you don't know what cribbage is, it's a little card game where you play on one of these boards, and you're just earning points based on different things. 15s are good, runs, sets, pairs are all going to get you points, and there's more to it than that. You're dealt 6 cards, you have to keep 4 of them, and then you score off those 4 cards. But cribbage is a game, another game that I played growing up, played a lot of card games growing up, and this one is just, you can just kind of sit and chill and talk and have a good time over a game of cribbage, and it's a lot of fun. Crown of Amara is a new one for me. Oh, I think I messed up. I did mess up. Sorry, team. Crown of Amara is another new one. This is the Euro game. It has these 2 little boards in the center, like this, and then you're sending your counselors around based on a card selection system that you then take actions. This one over here is kind of the resource. You're going to move your person around. You're going to come here. You're going to collect some stone. If you have an extra worker in here, you collect extra stone, or you can get some bread, and then you're going to trade the bread and stuff and stone over here for different points. It's points to points game. Where this game is very cool, though, is you have 2 different track systems. You have your... Essentially, the idea behind it is you are trying to become the next king or next ruler of Amara, and the king is trying to find the best person, and so you're trying to get citizens to join your cause, but you also need buildings for the citizens, so you have 2 different tracks that you're running up, and ultimately you're going to score the lower of the 2, so you have to equalize and you have to build up both, because if you have 50 followers but only 20 buildings to put them in, you're only going to get your end score is 20. So you're way better off doing like a 40-40 rather than a 60-20 sort of situation, because you get 40 points versus 20 points. And yeah, it's clever, it's enjoyable. I've only played it once, and I did like it quite a bit, and I want to... these boards are modular, so you can kind of mix and match them, so every time it's theoretically going to be different. And Crown of Amara it's a great little Euro game. Cubitos I love. Cubitos is kind of Quacks with dice. Quacks of Quedlinburg is a push your luck game. I like Quacks better, maybe because I've played Quacks more, but also because there's a little bit of clunkiness with Cubitos in the way that your system runs. Quacks is super easy. Every turn you take all the stuff you bought and you put it into your bag. In Cubitos, first of all, it's a racing game. So certain dice you buy are going to get you movement points, which are going to move you around the board. The first one to the end wins. If multiple people, it's whoever's furthest ahead. So you're going to be buying dice, and then you're going to be pressing your luck to try and roll the dice. If you roll too many blanks, then you bust and bad things happen. I think it's fantastic. It's really, really good. It's really, really fun. If you can wrap your head around the system, because you're not using every dice, you have a limited dice pool. So the dice kind of move in a kind of clunky order. You have your draw here, and then you're active in your discard, and there's certain rules for when they go to discard and active. But if you can wrap your head around the system, it's fantastic, and I really, really like it. Like, it's on par with Quacks for me, as a press your luck game. It's really good, and I like rolling dice. So, and you can get some cool combo-tastic stuff going on with different dice. Will chain with different dice and get some real big movement going on. The board also has some parts on it that you can collect different things along the way, but it'll take you along the outside, or you can just hug the inside corner, go for the quickest route around. And yeah, there's a lot of cool decisions in this game, and a lot of variability, just like the base game of Quacks, where you can each dice has like 7 or 8 different cards that will represent how the dice play out. Cubitos is fantastic. Holy moly, this is going to be a long video because we are only up to F. Furnace. Furnace is an engine building game that is wonderful. Furnace is fantastic. Here is one of the things that makes Furnace great. This is just never going to happen, but regardless, we'll see what it looks like. Whoever has there's chips 1 through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoever has the biggest bidding chip on there is going to get the card. Everyone else is going to get their value chip times the number of resources on the top. So this person would get card. This person here, there you get 2 coal. So this person would get 6 coal. This person would get 4 coal. This person would get 2 coal. And then the yellow would get the card. And then they could add this card into their engine and add this building into their engine. And you can see it produces 1 iron. And then if you upgrade it, which is a mechanism in the game where you get upgrade tokens, you can then flip it over and it will act. This bottom part becomes active. So you can sell oil for 4 money, and you can do that up to 2 times. You can sell 2 barrels of oil for 8 money. And money is how you win the game. Whoever has the most money at the end wins. So the combination, it's a quick game. It's only 4 rounds. 4 rounds of the betting, 4 rounds of running your engine, and whoever has the most money wins. It's a great game. It was like 76 to 74, and then I think the other person had like 66 or something like that. So it was a close game. It's super quick. It plays under an hour pretty easily, especially if you have people who know it, who have played it before. The only thing that can get a little long is if you have someone who's really analyzing things and they have acquired a lot of buildings, then figuring out the proper way to position the buildings within your engine can take a little bit. But Furnace is phenomenal. Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters. This is another kids game. Another game I play with my kids. Similar to Pandemic, but on a cutesy scale. It's got these cool little ghosts, these little haunters. It's got your people. You're running around. You're trying to limit the number of ghosts that are coming out while collecting the treasure. If you get all the treasure before all these guys come out, you win the game. It's not easy. It's difficult. But this is another one I play with my 3 and sometimes 7-year-old, but my 3-year-old really likes it. And she just likes to run around collecting treasure. And so we play by the rules-ish. And she has fun just kind of running around and rolling the dice to try and get rid of the ghosts and things like that. And so it's just a fun one. Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters is good. Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is Gloomhaven. It's probably my number 1 game of all time because it's just phenomenal. I typically play this weekly online with a group of friends. I was playing it in person quite a bit too, but haven't in a while. So, yeah. Gloomhaven is Gloomhaven, and it's wonderful. Las Vegas Royale. Las Vegas Royale is another newish game to me that came out of nowhere and is fantastic. It's got this very simple system where you roll your dice and then you have to assign your dice to one of these casinos. So this board setup here is weird and I don't understand it, so don't pay attention to it because it doesn't make any sense. But regardless, you have to assign, once you roll your dice, so this person rolled, let's say they rolled 2 6s and a 5, they have to either assign their 2 6s to the 6 casino or their 5 to the 5 casino. And you're rolling like 8 dice, so there's a lot of decisions to be made. Whoever has the most dice in a particular casino wins the bigger amount. Whoever has the second most wins the smaller amount. So you're kind of manipulating that. But where the game really shines is these things over here, which are little mini games. So if you place in the 3 casino here, you get to do this little mini game. If you place in the 2, you do this one, 1, and this one. So you could theoretically put 6 mini games on here. So every time you're placing dice, you're doing little cool things. And that's where the game shines. The mini games are fantastic and fun. Some of them are a little more cutthroat, and so I tend to play with the more fun ones rather than the more hurt your neighbor ones, just because then it becomes just a fun game. I also they have these cheap poker chips. I got upgraded clay chips that I think cost me like $10 or something like that, and they work really nice. Las Vegas. Oathsworn, Into the Deepwood. Oathsworn is a big old monster of a game that's extremely fun. Here's all your classes. Oathsworn is a 2-part game. The first part, you're running around, choose your own adventure, trying to figure out what's going on in a town. Generally, it's something bad. People are dying. And then the second part is a big boss battle or fight where you're rolling dice, and the combat system in it is very cool. All the characters play very differently. You can play full characters or you can play companion characters. I'm playing with 2 players. We're each playing a full character and 1 companion because you need to have 4 for Oathsworn with you. And the companions work really simply. They're just pretty straightforward. They can do basic actions, and then they have a couple special actions they can do as well. And so, yeah, Oathsworn is just a real, real good time. I want to say we're through mission 3. There's like 21 different missions. I try and keep it painted so that when we go and fight the big bad guy, he's all painted up and ready to go. Operation is Operation, the kids' game that you zap. It's another one I play with my kids, and they like to have fun with that. Planet Unknown. Planet Unknown is another newer, fantastic game. This polyomino game is ridiculously good. This board doesn't make any sense. That's fine. But this is weird. This is just not real. But anyway, pictures. So essentially what you're doing is you're placing these polyominoes out on a track or on the board, and then depending on what is on the polyominoes, you're going to go up these tracks. And then going up these tracks gets you different things. These are points. If you get to one of these little circle things, it gives you can go up any other track or any track you want. This rover lets you move your rover around. This is the rover. He's going to go around. He's going to collect these life pods. He's going to collect meteors, which these look like 3D printed meteors, or maybe a Kickstarter version or something. Let me see if I can find that's TTS. Here we go. This thing here is a big, cool thing in the game. This is the Lazy Susan, and you'll see that it's separated into 6 sections, and each section has 2 different pieces you can take. So essentially, if you're the first player, you're going to select one of you're going to move this however you want, and you're going to select one of these. Then the other players at the table, wherever they are located, are going to pick one from whatever zone is in front of them. They're going to pick one of those. So everybody's going all at the same time, and then when you're first player, you get to choose very specifically what piece you want. And then when it's not your turn, so you're going to have to pick one of the ones that's in front of you. So you still have a little bit of flexibility, but you're more limited. And then you just got to place on your board. And then there's base planets, there's base federations or corporations, and then there's all different planets and all different corporations. So I've only played the base game with the base planets and the base corporation, so I haven't even scratched the surface of all the differences that can go in this game. This game is phenomenal. Planet Unknown is great. Pokemon Master Trainer, that's another one I play with my daughter. She loves this game, Pokemon, and she loves running around the board and collecting Pokemon and fighting Pokemon and having lots of fun. And so, yeah, it's a kid's game that she just enjoys playing a lot. Quacks Quedlinburg, we talked a little about before. It's a press your luck game. 10 out of 10 for me. It's just unbelievably good. I have the upgraded bits they look like this. They're from Board Game Geek. And they're not cheap. They're probably maybe potentially more than the game at this point, but they are so good because you're pulling them out of a bag and it just feels good, real good to pull these like acrylic tiles out of your bag rather than cardboard. And I've played this game so many times, it's well worth it to get these chips for me, despite their cost. Like the number of times I've played it, it's worth. I'm always up for upgrading bits in games if you play the game. Where I struggle is when do I deluxify a game that I'm going to play one or two times, and I try to not do that because then I feel like it's wasted money. But yeah, Quaxaquedlinburg, push your luck game. You're trying to build the best potion, and you don't want these bad cherry blossom ingredients because they can make your potion explode, and we can't have that happening because the people will be unhappy. Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. My son got this for his birthday. He had a friend over. We played it. It's a little... one of those games where you're just flipping cards over, and then when certain things happen, you have to slap the deck, and if you're too slow, then you get the cards, and you're trying to get rid of your cards, or something like that. It's one of those games. And it was enjoyable. We played it. I'm bad at it. That's fine. Ticket to Ride First Journey, another one with the kids. Ticket to Ride kids game. And we played this. And it was fine. Ticket to Ride's too long, so I guess Ticket to Ride First Journey is shorter, and I like it better. And it's got these cute little trains. These are the regular Ticket to Ride. These are the First Journey trains. So it's fine. It's another kids game that if you have kids that like play games, then normally, I shouldn't say normally. I like to track all my kids' games because I think it reminds me, not reminds me, but it's like, that's spending time with your kids. When I'm playing all these games, despite how terrible this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game is, and it is terrible. Like, despite how bad it is, like, I'm spending time with my daughter, and she's having fun, and she's enjoying it. So despite the fact that I loathe it to, like, the 10th son, she's having fun, and she's chucking dice, and she's enjoying it, and that's all that really matters, is she's forming those good memories with me. And so that's why I log all my kids' plays, even though it's like, oh, well, clearly these are inflated numbers for the games I played for the month of January, because probably 20-ish of them are played with kids, but I played all those games with my kids, and I think that's important. And then the last one is Wingspan. Wingspan is Wingspan. Wingspan is great. It's another 10 for me. It's one of those games that gamers feel like they need. It's so popular they need to hate on it. I'm not that way. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's so well done, and I think that it's a great weight game. You can make it as thinky or not thinky as you want. Every single card is different. Look at that. That's insanity. I mean, granted, some of them have like similar powers or even the same powers, but each card is different. The bird on it is it's so good. It's so good. Wingspan is so good. So there we go. That's my January. I'm going to try and do this every month and see what happens. And we'll stick with it, and we'll see what games I play in a month. And I'll keep you posted. But yeah, other than the kids games and Karagar Etage, I didn't play any games that I was like, woofda. So most of the games I played, I enjoyed, and that's a good thing, because if you're playing games, you're having fun, and that's all you can ask for. I love you. Thanks for watching. Keep on keeping on. Keep on playing games. Keep on having fun, and I will talk to you later. Bye!